Assalamualaikum. I am Amni Farzana, metric number 1910486. Today I will be presenting my design of the Art and Handicraft Center in Gombak. First of all, this Art and Handicraft Center is designed to create awareness by educating people in preserving this Malay fine art. It is also designed to cater the production of any type of filigrees, either for decoration or furniture. The site that was assigned is Site C, which received the prevailing wind from the southwest. The site also has granted a spectacular view of the hill at the north and surrounded by trees. So from here, I can synthesize that the building should be open, relocate the trees to enhance the landscape, and have the building towards the north while the circulation towards the south. For this cultural art center, the client is Encik Zahir bin Abdullah, who was born and lived in Besut, Terengganu. The client's request is to have a room for him to stay overnight, since it took 6 hours from Besut to Gombak. As a synthesis, I suggest the client to have a studio apartment on the rooftop, implementing with Terengganu ancient house elements such as Rambi-like space and integrating timber with other materials. Not many art centers were designed for carving activity. Therefore, I came up with these 3 precedent studies: CZ Carving Art Studio, Sala Visitor Center, and Than Lan Bay Gallery. These 3 buildings have shown significant similarities, which are designed in a linear organization and utilize natural daylighting as well as ventilation as responding to the site. Based on these precedent studies, I propose that the building should follow the site profile, using vernacular contemporary to reflect the Malay culture as well as suitable with the current lifestyle, and void for natural daylighting on the workspace. Kerawang or filigree is the main focus of the subject in building this art and handicraft center. Despite the decorative elements, Kerawang acts as a part of the ventilation system in traditional houses that are usually placed as sisir angin, wall facade, and others. By using the technique of tebuk timbul and tebuk terus, some elements were cut through and allowed air to pass through. In this design, the Kerawang can be used as the facade design and arranged in a grid system. Sisir angin also can be implemented in the design. Case studies include the planter box house to study the integration of plants with the building. Serambi Selasa is a Terengganu Malay traditional house that reflects the client's background, which has interesting facade elements and plant layout. Workshop layout also needs to be studied, as it is essential to serve the purpose of the center. From the studies, dinding janda berhias can be integrated with the facade. The void of the building could be filled with plants as natural shades, and the workshop could be divided into 2 levels for the production and the public. Therefore, from the design synthesis, I choose solid and void as a concept, as it reflects the subject, which is Kerawang, by the technique of tebuk timbul and tebuk terus. Next, it reflects the client's hometown traditional house facade, where the crown is placed and the concept portrays the maximization of natural ventilation on site, which depicts the function of sisir angin. The principles that can be used are grid, linear, and repetition. From the concept, the application will be providing open spaces, double high ceiling by a partially open between ground floor and the first floor, open terrace on the first floor and second floor, lastly wide openings. So here is the matrix diagram that shows the planning of the space connection divided into essential and preferred. The spaces on the ground floor serve mostly for the public. It shows that only public and semi-public spaces can be reached on the ground floor. Moving on to the first floor, where only could be accessed by certain people, including the staff and people who have meetings with the organization. The spaces are mostly semi-private and private spaces, while the second floor only could be accessed by the client or owner. The plan shows the location of the proposed site, which is located in Kampung Sungai Pusu, Gombak, Selangor. The site could be accessed from the north northwest as it is the nearest to the main road. Moving to the drop-off point and turning at the 3-point turn to park the car. The loading-unloading point has another access at the north to ease the loading and unloading activities for the wet and dry components. So here, this is the circulation for the visitors and staff, circulation for services, and circulation for loading and unloading. Moving on to the design development, the design starts with the lines that indicate the view, which is from the forest to the hill, the main openings for ventilation, and Qibla direction. Following the site profile, this shape is chosen to maximize the natural daylighting and determined by the vehicle circulation access. Then the shape breaks off to allow air to pass through for natural cross ventilation purposes. Next, build up the hierarchy according to the building program. The entrance is emphasized by having double frontage so people could find an obvious entrance from the car parking or the main road. Void is applied for privacy and allows natural cross ventilation. Lastly, the design is refined with a roof that is suitable for the weather as well as picturing the Malay vernacular design. Moving on to the floor plan. From the entrance, the visitor will enter the lobby directly. From there, they are free to access the toilet, musala, exhibition hall, souvenir shop, cafeteria, or either workshop. Entering the exhibition hall with one-way circulation and outdoor exhibition, they can reach the workshop to have the carving experience by themselves. From the lobby, also they can reach the cafe by going through the ramp, and they can enjoy their meal with a man-made fountain and breathtaking view. For service purposes, particular parking has been provided to ease their work. As for the staff, they can access the office which is on the first floor by passing through the cafe, which also acts as an intermediate space to remind them to eat before starting work. The staff also could reach the first floor by the emergency staircases. Production of wood carving requires a loading area to receive the wood, which can be done in the loading area. From there, the wood is brought into the workshop to be processed. Large entry orders of carving could be done on the ground floor, while the smaller ones are produced on the first floor. Groceries also could be loaded at this point and go directly to the kitchen. Moving on to the first floor, where only could be accessed by the staff or the guests that have to attend meetings or appointments. From the cafe, they can take a glimpse of the view outside and see the activity of carving at the workshop. The guests could wait here before the meeting. From there, the staff could access the office, which is open to the exhibition space and near provided with wide openings to reduce the tension of work. From the working space, they can cross the exhibition, going to the storeroom and toilet. Next to the toilet is a small open pantry. From there, they can see the lobby entrance. Between the toilets is a void that is a little bit hidden from the outside. It is shaded by the parts of the building. Next to the storeroom is an open terrace with plants. Straight from the storeroom is the manager's office and also can be accessed from the working space. From the working space also, the staff can reach the workshop that is specifically for the production. The workshop comes with a balcony, so the carver could carve either inside or outside, which will inspire them. Next, the second floor is exclusively for the client, where he can rest, recharge, and get inspiration. From the emergency staircases, he can reach the studio apartment by walking through the garden. As he enters, the studio apartment comes with a bathroom and kitchenette. He can either eat inside or outside with the outdoor dining provided. This is the northwest elevation, where you can see the cafe space, which is designed to imitate the ceremony of the Malay traditional house. Sisir angin was also implemented on the design. As you can see, the design is integrating timber with concrete with plaster on. From the northwest elevation, you can see the entrance to the building, and the reception is highlighted with an enormous wood carving panel. From here also we can see a mezzanine that connects the cafe with the first floor. The facade includes double skin facades, which are designed from the definition of dinding janda berhias, where it is integrated with Karawang. Here is where the void for the planter box is placed that also becomes the natural shape. From the southeast elevation, you can see the entrance to the service room and the staircases that connect all the levels. A bridge is provided to connect the workspace and the workshop to ease the movement of the worker. While on the northeast elevation, you can see a double skin facade at the staircases. This carved wall panel at the balcony is designed as a shading device. This is the cafe, and these stairs connect the loading area with the kitchen. Might as well become the second entrance to the cafe. Section. From section cut XX, you can see the double high ceiling at the exhibition space. Here is the open space where you can see the lobby from the first floor. Going to the second floor, you can see the outdoor dining of the client's studio apartment. Down here is the outdoor exhibition. From the section cut YY, also you can see the double high ceiling at the exhibition hall. This is the manager's office, and below it is the musola. Here are the emergency staircases that connect all the floors. A huge fixed window is placed to provide natural daylighting at the staircases. And the second floor is the studio apartment. Here is the store, which is placed next to the kitchen and cafe. For the construction, post and beam structure were used in the design. Reinforced concrete is connected with the column. The wall is made of brick with plastering on both sides. The concrete floor slab is covered with vinyl flooring. The roof is constructed with steel trusses that connect with the metal deck roof. A double skin facade is placed from the ground floor to the second floor. Here is the water supply and sanitary diagram, where you can see the toilets are stacked on the ground floor and first floor for easy piping. This is the sketch of the exhibition space, where you can see the void that shows a double high ceiling and a bridge crossing the hall. Outside of the hall also displays reading materials which are located informally. Next, the view towards the lobby entrance. You can see the carving wood panel that highlights the reception area. Here is the first floor, which is partially open. From this space, you can see the lobby. This is the pathway to go to the toilet. And here is the sketch of the view towards the cafe, where you can see the visitors can enjoy their meal with the view of a man-made waterfall. This is the perspective sketch of the exterior building, where you can see the carved double skin facade. Here is the entrance and the ramp to go to the cafe. This is the void, where the planter box is placed to plant some plants. Karawang has become the identity of this art and handicraft center. Displays as the facade and also integrated SCC angin as well as decorative panels at the rail. It is important to preserve this cultural fine art, as it is one of the cultural heritage from the ancestors. Plants were not only placed around the building but also part of it. The design should be integrated with nature to promote respect for the natural world that has been granted to us. It is required that we should work towards the conservation of the earth, ensuring the sustainability of natural resources for future generations. As cited in the Quran, eat and drink of that which Allah has provided, and do not act corruptly, making mischief on the earth. Al-Baqarah 60. This art and handicraft center has a sense of belonging since it is designed by responding to the site context, and the concept reflects Karawang as well as the client. So, it cannot be relocated to any site neither owned by any client. It is a site-specific and client-oriented design. That's all from me. Thank you.